not talking anything. So
यहाँ तक कैसे आए आप?
cabs,
कैब से। और अब क्या करेंगे? अब कैसे जाएंगी?
bus से.
बस से हैदराबाद। तो उदय, आप देखिए, इनका सामान देख लीजिए, और ये कैसे करके एयरपोर्ट से जो मेन रोड है हाईवे का, यहाँ तक ये जो है कैब करके आए, और कैब करने के बाद यहाँ आने के बाद जो है ये देख लीजिए, ये इसी तरह से जो लोग परेशान हाल सब खड़े हुए हैं। और ये जो एयरपोर्ट है यहाँ पे तेज़ गर्मी है, और इस गर्मी में भी जो है लोग, क्योंकि लोगों को अपने घर पहुँचना है, इंडिगो ने तो कैंसिल कर दिया है और उनको इनके हाल पे छोड़ दिया है।
Shocking reality, shocking state of affairs. No alternatives being given, and of course it seems that people literally on the road now because of these mass cancellations. In fact, we have another reporter also joining us live now. Sudhir Verma is with us from Raipur Airport. Sudhir, what is the situation in Raipur? Are passengers there also facing, unfortunately, a harrowing situation because of the mass cancellations by IndiGo? Sudhir, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost Sudhir there. All right, let me, bring in now Captain Ehsan Khalid, aviation expert. Captain Khalid, very unfortunate situation now, of course, that we're seeing across the country. Is this something that could have been prevented? While the airline is claiming that these were factors beyond their control, is this something that could have been handled better?
All right. The mismanagement of airline towards pilot hiring for last 2 years is very evident. When the courts did decide that there will be a timeline and phase 1 and phase 2, the pilots duty rest period will be revised to international standards and international safety norms, and airline should have actually acted upon that. Howsoever, this kind of mass cancellation is actually not the result of the new FDTL rules, which require maybe 7 to 10% increase in pilot strength. Right now, the whole day, yesterday, the whole day, the pilots of IndiGo were actually sleeping in their houses. It is not as if they are taking on their 100% of the workforce and they can do nothing more. They are doing zero today. They did maybe 20% yesterday.
Captain Khalid, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost his line there. All right, we have a viewer now also joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Devakumar from Delhi is calling in. Dr. Devakumar, please go ahead.
See, actually, my relative is supposed to come to Delhi, but the flight is cancelled today. So now I just want to ask you whether the return ticket is there, so that if I cancel the return ticket, will the IndiGo will give the full refund? Because
Dr. Devakumar, are you there with us? Okay, I think we've lost him. But I got the basic gist of your question. We have Vandana Singh, aviation expert, also with us now. Vandana Singh, a viewer there asking this question, one side the flight has been cancelled. Now his relative was supposed to return from Delhi as well. Should they already cancel their flight and will IndiGo then give a refund for it? Or do they wait for the airline to take a call?
Uday, we can already see the chaos that is there. I think I've been talking about it since week 2. And this, as we know, has not just happened out of the blue. It is total unpreparedness of IndiGo over here. Coming back to now, we are now talking about refunds. If the situation is so bad as we are seeing, that people are really handling each other, staff have gone Ori. Now, where is the refund going to come in? I'm going to be very realistic that I am very, very disappointed with IndiGo on this. They had this on since 2 years, that they had to be prepared with the second phase of the FDTL coming in. That came in on November 1st. The winter schedule kicked in on October 26th. They have had enough time to have their pilots in place, their crew in place, their crew resource management in place, the fatigue risk management system that has to be addressed. but they have done nothing about it. Instead, it is chaos after chaos. They've added, of course, 6% flights more, which is about 826 flights in this holiday season, so-called holiday season, and they don't have pilots. Now, on one hand, you don't have pilots. On the other hand, you have to follow the FDTL rules. I think they were playing bogey, meaning that they were expecting another extension from the government, another extension from the DGCA, which is not the way it should be, because safety and security of the equipment and the pilot, taking all the passengers, being safe comes first. Now, coming on to refund, Uday, I think that is something that has to be answered. Of course, in the press release, IndiGo is saying that a refund will immediately happen, but actually that's not the case. The ground reality is people are suffering. People are paying 68,000 to come from Bengaluru to Delhi tonight is what I'm hearing. And people are, totally in a situation where they have checked in, but they have no way to check out. Forget the refund. I don't see the refund coming in next 10 days also there. Over to you.
So, Captain Khalid, your advice also would be not to cancel that ticket as yet, to let IndiGo, cancel it first, or should they cancel it and claim whatever refund they can, looking at the state of affairs?
Well, under the present circumstances, no matter who cancels it, whether IndiGo or the passenger, refund should be full. Number two, Ministry of Civil Aviation and DGCA should step on and make a cap of the flights fare, because now the other airlines are charging as if it is their bonanza time. The fare must be capped, because the passengers had actually planned their flight. They had taken the ticket for 7,000-8,000 rupees, and now it is inefficiency of the system, airline, regulators, everyone put together, that passengers have to now take on an urgent flight booking on some other airlines. That other airline should not be allowed to make a windfall profit. And it should be capped. As of now, as we are speaking, it should be capped to the max of what was, 24 hours or 48 hours before, whatever was the ticket. Okay. Otherwise, passengers are being exploited. Other airline is getting benefited. But I think all these cancellations have nothing to do with new FDTL rules. New FDTL rules could impact 10% of the flight departures early morning or night. But here, the whole day flight has been cancelled. It is only possible because there is some bigger malaise going within the airline. And I have seen very big airlines, very efficient airlines going down, like Jet Airways, Kingfisher. And this is how there is a beginning of end of a very great airline. All stakeholders have to get together, solve this problem, because this is a very, very big problem for aviation industry of India. God forbid something happens to IndiGo airline, the entire aviation scene will collapse for next 3 years. The new FDTL rules have strained the airline, but not to an extent that the full day roster will be cancelled. There are pilots who are sleeping at home. There are crew which is sleeping at home, aircraft which is ready at the airport, and passengers ready to board. But the airline, for some reason, doesn't want to take on a flight. Well, I can understand they can't take on, 500 flights. They should take on 300 flights. No, they have the whole day, the entire base of Delhi or Chennai or even Mumbai has decided to call it a day as if it is a vacation time. Over to you. It fails.
Let me get in Vandana Singh. Vandana Singh, could this have been handled better by the airline? Could the situation have been handled better?
The situation at? What did you say?
I said, could the situation have been handled better, Vandana?
Absolutely, Uday. Absolutely. IndiGo has failed miserably. Proactively, they have had 2 years of time to have their act in order. I did not expect this from IndiGo, and IndiGo has really let us down, and we are now living in a duopoly situation where, rightfully so, now the other carrier is making merry. I don't have to name it. And here we are in a situation where we need healthy competition. We need more players coming in. This duopoly has to stop. Absolutely, it has to stop. IndiGo, could have handled it better. What better they could have? They should have made sure that this situation would not have come in. I
Actually,
am aghast with the
yeah,
situation right now, Uday.
Uday,
Absolutely aghast.
Uday,
Yes, Captain Khalid.
the same FDTL rules with Air India, same FDTL rules with SpiceJet, same FDTL new rules norms has not called for cancellation of this kind. This has very little to do with FDTL rules, though they might have defaulted on that. There is something bigger behind the scene which the IndiGo has to come up, because the flights that are getting cancelled, they're not getting cancelled during early morning or late night, which was the impact that we could have we could have seen. They could this situation be handled any better? I don't know if it could have been handled any worse than what it has been handled now. You cancel the whole, the entire
Okay.
flight
Exactly.
In fact, we have opened
from
it out to
morning
our
till
viewers as well. We've opened it out to our viewers as well. They can also call in, have their say. If you are affected or you know of people who are affected, please do call us. Share your audio, ask any questions that you may have for our experts as well. Hari Prasad, in fact, is joining us from Mumbai. Our phone lines are right there, viewers, on our screen. Hari Prasad, please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Hari Prasad, please go ahead.
What?
We can hear you. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, yes.
जी बोलिए हरि प्रसाद जी.
हरिप्रसाद बॉम्बे में है. He's in Mumbai.
Please go ahead, sir. You are a caller. You have called in. Please share with us what the situation is that you are facing. Okay, I think we are having some trouble there with our guest, unfortunately. Sorry, I beg your pardon, with our viewer, unfortunately, our caller, unfortunately. But our phone lines are open, of course, as we are saying. You can call in. You can share your audio with us or an audio that a family member of yours is facing, a friend is facing. If you have any question as well, our experts are there live on the broadcast. They are answering for you as well. We hope to be joined by reporters as well across the country. They will also give us the situation on ground. But Captain Ehsan Khalid, quickly coming back to you. Yes, you were telling us about why and how it is just IndiGo that is facing this situation. The rules are applying to Air India, they're applying to SpiceJet, Akasa, other airlines as well. Why then is IndiGo facing this crisis and not the others?
Yeah, there is, it is not as if the entire pilot fleet of IndiGo airline has been pushed into service for the maximum duty hours that legally it is allowed under the new rules. They have been pushed to 0 flight hours for last 48 hours. How do you explain this? This has nothing to do with new flight duty rules, that they are overstressed for resources, be it pilot or be it any other resources. They're even if the rosters are softwares are down or something, there is a technology, they could have still taken on 30, 40, 50% of the flight from Delhi. They have decided to quit it today, which baffles me and which actually makes me to shudder that probably there is a bigger deep down problem within the airline which we did not know. Look, we have seen this going on in Indian sky for far too long. The leading airline which had everything going nice and fine, Kingfisher Airline, it folded up from the peak. Same is with Jet Airways. Okay, so for some reason, airlines have a fatigue. The management has a fatigue. Airline is a very challenging business to carry on. So to carry on for 20, 30 years, 40 years, the management also has fatigue. Okay, and probably it is showing now because they were at the top of the business maybe a decade back, but today are they? Doesn't look like, because if they were at the top of their performance, it wouldn't have been the way we are seeing. So much of inconvenience to work by an airline which keeps on-time performance as its lifeline. Okay, it baffles me, and I hope they come back online. I hope that there is no bigger disturbance. I hope there is no bigger downfall. Okay, yes, they might have defaulted in pilot training, pilot hiring, but this doesn't call for this kind of an discontinuation of flight.
All right. In fact, Shivani Singh is joining us also live on the broadcast, who will also give us more details about the harrowing situation that passengers now are facing. What is the latest update that you can give us from airports and what you are hearing, Shivani?
Absolutely, Uday. In fact, you have to remember that over 500 flights have seen cancellations from IndiGo just on Friday. And this is spread across the country, across Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru and Goa. So when we look at some of the cancellations and some of the departures, we'd like to inform our viewers about what those flights are. In fact, if you can look at this screen, this is the IGI airport and this is the arrival section. And you have various IndiGo flights, all have been delayed. This is the status that they show on air. However, they haven't landed yet, so they haven't taken off. These remain cancelled. These are some numbers. IndiGo 6E5136 coming in from Jaipur. This is then from the Zayed International Airport also. 6E4106, 6E6094 from Ahmedabad. We also have 6E6195. If we look at other arrivals as well from Goa, from Guwahati, from Pune, Bengaluru, Guangzhou, even China and Srinagar, all those airports that we are seeing over here which are delayed remain cancelled. So when we are looking at these numbers of IndiGo, they are on your screens. All these are delayed and cancelled flights. 6E404 coming in from Chennai, all cancelled. Dharamshala 6E7484 also cancelled. 6E6490 stands cancelled as well. So these are all the arrivals that are coming in at the Delhi airport. Remember that IndiGo has in fact put out a notice that till midnight all flight operations remain cancelled in Delhi. So when we look at other numbers as well from Gorakhpur, Bikaner and as well, these flights remain cancelled and delayed. We have no update on that from IndiGo. And that's
joining
what
us
the
now,
situation.
Gayatri is calling in from Tamil Nadu. Please go ahead, Gayatri.
Yeah, so actually we have planned for a flight that is being scheduled for Wednesday from Coimbatore to Delhi. So if we are trying to cancel, that means do we get a full refund now?
Okay. She has a flight, Captain Khalid, in a couple of days. And obviously our viewer there is pretty concerned. What would be your advice to her? Should she cancel her flight? Will she get a refund? Or should she wait for the airline to take a call? Captain Khalid, can you hear me? Okay. I think we've lost our expert there. Let me bring in Vandana Singh for her perspective on this. Vandana Singh, our viewer there has a very, a big concern that she is saying that she is not able to, take a call as to whether she should wait for the airline to cancel a ticket or whether she should cancel her ticket herself. What would be your advice to her? Vandana, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost, unfortunately, our expert there. All right, Gayatri, what I would, advise you at this point is to speak to the airline yourself, see if you can call in on the helpline number and, of course, figure out what the situation is. And if they're able to help you, then well and good. Otherwise, if you cancel yourself at this point, then perhaps you won't be able to get the refund because there is a rule as to how much refund you can get within 3 or 4 days unless the airline takes a call on your ticket. All right, Gayatri, thank you for calling in, and I hope that I managed to answer that question of yours. I'm taking a short break. We'll be back on the other side. We're getting more reporters as well. We're getting more experts as well to answer our viewers' questions. Our number is there on your screen. You can keep calling in. We'll, of course, be taking your calls live on the other side of this break.
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया न्यूज NewsX का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त, मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे पत्रकारिता की दुनिया का वो चमकता चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
दिसंबर में हमारी 23वीं समिट के लिए 140 करोड़ भारतीय उत्सुकता पूर्वक आपका इंतजार कर रहे हैं।
Сделано в Индии, ощутимый. Вот не грех повторять то, что
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV और इंडिया NewsX का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीकी से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर।
Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. We are continuing our big focus on the IndiGo crisis. Belly Thomas is now joining us live from the Bengaluru airport. Belly, what are passengers there telling you? How affected is the Bengaluru airport due to this current crisis that we're seeing nationwide regarding mass cancellations of IndiGo flights?
Uday, I am right now at the Terminal 1 in front of the reservations and ticketing counters of IndiGo here. You can see the crowd that are gathered. These passengers are very much uncertain that as to when their next flight is scheduled. So there are absolute confusion and chaos here with the information display board also conveying kind of misleading information is what passengers say, that some of them have got messages stating that their flights are cancelled, and when they go for a refund or when they come to see this display board, it says that their flight is on time. So there is chaos here. Let's talk to some passengers here. I'm here with a family. Sir, ma'am, where are you headed to, and what is the inconvenience that you're facing?
So they haven't given us any information. Web check-in is done. Even the boarding pass is showing the same flight timings. Nothing, no response from them. Call has been not lifted from the customer care or anyone. And we are traveling to Rajahmundry, and it is really emergency. I had booked a flight for tomorrow itself. From there to here, I don't know what's going on. At least they should have informed us that this flight is cancelled. We shouldn't have run from there. Bangalore traffic, you know very well. Correct. Yeah.
So that is one passenger. Let us go to him. Sir, what is your inconvenience?
Nothing different, boss. Pune flight, till 2 o'clock I leave from Electronic City. It was showing on time. Boarding pass is printed. You come here, it's not displayed over there. See, that is still not displayed over here. And security is not allowing us to get in. And we can't cancel it now. We don't know what to happen with our money. And I checked the parallel things, Akasa and Air India, 25,000, 30,000. Okay. Who will afford?
May I ask, what is the purpose of your travel? Is it emergency?
I'm a personal consultant, so I do this for my personal business. Now I'm stuck.
Okay, so this passenger is going to lose out on business. Ma'am, sir, if you can, okay. Let me connect you to, sir, what is the issue? What is the inconvenience that you're going through?
I don't know, I just reached here. and I was checking if my flight is cancelled or is it there.
Where are you headed to?
Raipur. I have a flight at 5:30, so I wanted to check like if it's there.
What is the situation now? Like, did you get any message from the IndiGo?
I didn't get any message.
Okay, so can you tell us like what kind of inconvenience that you're going through?
So basically I came in the morning and after I came they cancelled the flight. I'm not really sure what is happening. Again they rescheduled the flight but again it says cancelled.
Where are you headed to and what is the purpose of?
Bhopal, yeah. So that's what, we came twice and it is cancelled again. Not really sure what is happening. Yeah.
Do you know the purpose of your visit? Is it emergency or?
Yeah, kind of emergency, yeah. Yeah.
So, ma'am, what is the inconvenience that you're facing here?
Yeah, we have no clarity about the travel time because our flight is not displayed here, but online it shows the flight is on time, and we didn't get any message from IndiGo, so we are completely in chaos. We don't know what's happening.
Where are you headed to, and may I ask the purpose of the visit?
Sure, I'm heading to Mumbai, and my flight is at 6 p.m. But no information updated here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. We are headed to Ahmedabad and we see no display. We got the message that we are waiting to have you on board.
Any message from the IndiGo?
No, that's it. We only got the message. They updated the boarding pass and we got the message that we are waiting to have you on board. And the display itself is not right. The timings are
Belly
not updated.
Belly also there is a, reportedly the airline has said that they are providing alternate arrangements. They are booking hotels. Is that something that passengers are being provided? Or is that just a statement and the reality is different? So why don't you ask them, are they being provided alternate arrangements by the airline? Are they being provided hotel or nothing?
No, Uday, it is for some selective, passengers, as we hear from the airline staff itself. They say that, if a group of people who have come here, they are provided with hotel facilities and they are even, ferried from a bus here from the airport to the hotel until the next, flight is available for them. So those kind of, hospitable things are being managed by the airlines. But these, most of the people who are aggrieved are the people who are coming here as passengers, families with kids, elderly people who have no idea as to what's happening and what the exact schedule of the flights, because people have been waiting since last night for their flight, and there is a new group of people coming in the morning and likewise in the afternoon and evening. The crowd, like you see there, it's growing and growing since morning. It is increasing only, and it is not, the airline is not a kind of, the airline is not trying to, reduce this crowd by addressing the concerns is what we hear. So, ma'am, can I know like where you're traveling to?
Rajamundry.
Sorry?
Rajamundry. Yeah.
What is your status of the?
No, it's not even displayed there.
That is the problem. Status itself is not clear. Otherwise, we would have taken some decision. ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಕೆಲವರು ಇದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೈಟ್ ನೋಡಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಸೈಟಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Okay.
Yeah.
So worrying situation there at the airport as well. Complete chaos and of course passengers being left in a complete lurch, it seems, by the airline. Belly Thomas, thank you for joining us with that ground report. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Vladimir Putin have addressed the media after their summit today. Before the press conference, both sides exchanged several memorandums of understanding between ministers of the two countries. PM Modi has said he takes immense pleasure in welcoming President Putin to the summit. In fact, he also said they reviewed all aspects of cooperation with economic ties as the top priority. He's also announced that India and Russia have agreed on an economic cooperation program running until 2030. Modi said the close bonds between people of both nations are growing, and to support this, India is opening 2 new consulates in Russia. On Ukraine, Prime Minister Modi said India welcomes the efforts for a peaceful and lasting solution and is ready to contribute in the future. Additionally, President Putin said that Russia aims to hit $100 billion in trade with India by 2030. Well, in breaking updates now, coming in on the broadcast, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized that both India and Russia are taking steps to realize an FTA with the Eurasian Economic Union after bilateral talks with President Putin. He has said to further economic cooperation, we've signed a Vision 2030 document. Today, both of us will take part in the India-Russia Business Forum. I'm confident this platform will strengthen our business relations and open new avenues for co-production and co-innovation. Both countries are also taking new steps to realize an FTA with the Eurasian Economic Union. Surinder Singh Lali, international affairs expert, is with us live on the broadcast. Surinder Singh Lali, Prime Minister Modi emphasizing that an FTA is on the cards, that an India-Eurasia FTA perhaps will be signed. It is being worked towards. Your first reaction to this big statement by Prime Minister Modi on this proposed FTA, Surinder Lali?
Yes, Uday, I think it's a total shift in global order, which I call the polycentric world. Uday, let's take it from the top. What is the message? This FTA and the optics this is going to create, not just to NATO, to the United States, is that India will not be cowed down. We will not succumb to any pressure from the West, irrespective of the tariffs and however they wish to economically penalize India. India is an independent country. It has an opinion of its own, and it will do what is in the interest of our 1.4 billion people. As the Prime Minister has been repeatedly saying and said this morning, that we are in neither one of the camps. We are in the camp of peace. And Uday, if you look at it, how it panned out even in the morning, the visit to the Rajghat, the 21 gun salute, gifting the Gita, the messaging from the Rajghat also by Mr. Putin, if I just tell you the operative part was that it's a multipolar world and peace and humanity needs to prevail. So Uday, it's a very large message. There is a big shift in global center today where A, India cannot be taken for granted, and B, Russia is also gaining a lot of traction now. I mean, Russia is now, if you realize, shifting from Europe to Asia, because most of Europe and the allies are, now I can take the liberty of saying almost dead economies. I mean, Europeans thought, the NATO thought that Russia would collapse by now, but that is not what is happening. And India and Russia are creating a new history, a new paradigm shift, where now a lot of global order for the global south and in this part of the world will be dictated by the Republic of India under the very able leadership of Honorable Prime Minister and a very nimble and tough Foreign Minister, Mr. Jaishankar Uday.
Yes, absolutely. Also, Karori Singh, Foreign Affairs expert, if I can rope you in, Prime Minister Modi also talking about how, the economic ties have been strengthened today, saying a Vision 2030 document has been agreed upon by both sides. President Putin also spoke about how they aim to take trade to $100 billion by 2030. Also saying that the India-Russia Business Forum today will be strengthening the focus on the trade ties and the economic outlook between the two nations, and particularly, as PM Modi has said, this Vision 2030 resolve between both nations.
Yes, you see that India's strategy right at the moment is to develop internal strength through Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. And in that strategy and policy, Russia has potentials to contribute. First is in the defense sector, particularly the air and the maritime defense sector. So that regard, India and Russia are cooperating, and Russia is coming forward for joint production or co-production in India. So certainly it will contribute to the India's Make in India and the Atmanirbhar Bharat. As regards the trade, there's a huge trade deficit between the two countries. If the trade is reaching up to the 100 billion by 2030, how the trade deficit will be balanced, that is the big challenge before both the countries. In fact, Russia has told about a month back or so that now Russia will buy more things from India to balance the trade. But what's the strategy about that? I don't think any strategy has been worked out to balance that trade. So the trade balance will be a big problem if we are envisaging $100 billion trade by 2030. So the balancing trade, apart from the balancing of trade, the payment system is the another problem, because it will antagonize United States, because both the countries are envisaging trade in local currency. So US may not be annoyed about the defense agreements, defense co-production in India. But certainly US will not like to have trade in local currency bypassing the SWIFT system. So that is the another challenge for the India, and particularly India. So how things will move forward, how of course we are talking much about the joint co-production in India, but what about the India's investment in Russia? How India and Russia can have a co-production in Russia? That is another challenge, given the situation of this war situation or the Ukraine-Russia crisis. So unless or until there is a co-production in both the countries, I don't think trade can be balanced. Another thing is the US right at the moment is on the Indian side as well. The last month, US has released a national security strategy report, 33-page report, where US envisages India's role as a regional security provider in beyond Quad. So how India will be able to provide the regional security in this part of the world without Russia or with Russia, and what will be the US attitude if India is providing security with the Russian help, with the cooperation with Russia. So there are multiple challenges. Still, India-Russia relations are towards the right direction. And I think considering the historical experience and contemporary situation, in fact, the contemporary situation is more challenging.
Yes.
Challenging in the sense world is not polarized. Right at the moment, world is fragmented. And there are large number of uncertainties, not only financial and economic, but other types of uncertainties are there. How to cope such a situation?
Let me take that to Major General Bansal as well. Major General Bansal, a resolve to increase trade to $100 billion level by 2030, and a resolve to bring out an FTA very, very soon between the Eurasia Economic Council. Also, a Vision 2030 document, a resolve for that as well. And then there is the India Business Forum, India-Russia Business Forum still to go today as well. We're getting a clear, big push towards closening economic ties. How do you interpret this?
I think the previous speaker has very appropriately pointed out about the trade deficit, because there is about a $68 billion trade in total between Russia and India is only exporting about $5 billion. So there is a lot of difference and gap, how it will be filled. Of course, there had been certain proposals, and one of the proposals is of that free trade agreement. And the most important is the skilled and semi-skilled worker could be the proposal that, yes, the Russia will have from India. So that may be one of the services which India will provide. And there are certain things more that our Prime Minister has said that years will help Russia for building ships and training their people, and that is the basically in Arctic region. So various methodology has to be really, this is such a big gap, and that is true when the energy import is there from Russia. Now, how to do it? That's a bigger challenge. Of course, now about 7 to 8 trade agreement has been signed between India and Russia. So all these things will come into action, but this problem will remain. As far as the local currency or ruble is concerned, I think our Prime Minister in India has been always making a statement that we do not want to degrade dollars, or our aim is not that. So in that case, having a trade with rubles and rupees, which has already been started, and a lot of this rupees has been collected with Russia, because we are making payment to Russia. That is also one of the problem. So this has a real modus operandi has to be worked out, how to bridge this gap of trade deficit. Various mechanisms are being planned, But this is just to see that how to go about it. Back to you.
All right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion. It's time for a very short break.
मेहनत और समर्पण के प्रतीक अन्नदाताओं का 3,000 करोड़ रुपए